This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, an update on the circumstances surrounding the death of Snooty the manatee. Staff at the South Florida Museum in Bradenton admitting just moments ago this accident could have been avoided. ABC 7's Adam Cellini joins us live from the South Florida Museum in Bradenton, where a press conference just wrapped up. Adam?
Yeah, Scott, thanks for having me here. As you may recall, Snooty died after swimming through a panel in his tank that hadn't been opened in 5 years and was inspected by divers every single day. Well, now the museum is saying that a problem with that latch was observed a week before Snooty's actual death. According to a report, aquarium staff knew that panel was loose or missing screws on July 16th. That is 6 days before his accident overnight. Museum leaders say breakdowns in record-keeping, reporting, and communication and an effective repair was never done. Since then, the museum has created new dive checklists, new record-keeping protocols, a new system for maintenance and repairs, and changes in staffing, although they refuse to say for sure whether or not anyone had been fired.
Some action, but there wasn't complete follow-through, and we have now changed all that in terms of building in new cross-training staff, building new procedures and a new reporting system that has redundancies to build that safety net so it does not happen again.
Now, board leaders say they were not aware of these issues, that they had this information during previous press conferences. It only became clear after an extensive third-party review was done by an attorney from New York who specializes in animal welfare. Those are all the details now. We'll have more coming up later this evening. For now, live in Bradenton, I'm Adam Cellini. Scott, back to you.
All right, Adam, thank you so much. Harvey is now being blamed for at least 31 deaths, explosions at a chemical plant, and the destruction of up to 100,000 homes. It could be the costliest storm in U.S. history. ABC's Maggie Rulli is in Houston with the latest.
Harvey's gone, but the storm's aftermath continues to rock Houston. Overnight, explosions at the Arkema chemical plant in Crosby, Texas, just outside Houston, releasing a plume of chemical fumes that sent several people to the hospital.
Exposure to smoke from these organic peroxides is similar to standing over a burning campfire.
But conflicting messages as the local sheriff and a plant official tried to downplay those concerns.
The smoke is noxious. Its toxicity is, it's a relative thing.
6 feet of flood waters damaged the plant, and the surrounding area was evacuated in anticipation of an explosion. It's another blow to a city still reeling. Rescue operations continue. More than 13,000 people have been saved so far from the rising waters.
I waded through the water and somebody gave me a ride on the boat down here. It just breaks my heart.
Roughly 15,000 calls for help have poured in. Officials now going door to door, marking bright orange C's on homes that are clear. Officials believe up to 100,000 homes have been destroyed, making shelters a necessity.
We want to accommodate everybody, and we're not turning anybody away.
The NRG Center is set to become the main evacuation shelter here in Houston, ready to take in 7,500 people. Over here, a place for people to go shopping, pick up anything that may have been displaced by the floods. And over here, a place just for the kids, filled with stuffed animals and board games. All of this donated by fellow Houstonians in just the past few days. Larico Dixon has volunteered here through the night.
Texas is a big neighbor. You know, we love helping each other.
People here are getting medical care, legal services, and meals, mostly from volunteers, all in 16 different languages. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Houston, Texas.
Harvey's impact being felt at the gas pump as well. Prices are up 7 cents this week. The storm shut down refineries in southeast Texas, which make up to 25% of all refineries in the U.S. And the price for a gallon of regular could increase as much as 25 cents in the next couple of weeks, according to GasBuddy.com. There is some good news. Analysts predict that the price hike will only last a short time. Days after Hurricane Harvey's initial landfall, we continue to see the shocking scenes of devastation throughout Texas and Louisiana and ask what we can do to help, which is why today ABC is hosting a day of giving to benefit those impacted by Harvey. Throughout the day, there will be a call to action to donate to the American Red Cross, with money raised going to benefit those most impacted. If you'd like to help, you can make a donation at redcross.org or by calling 1-855-999-GIVE. Coming up in our next half hour, we'll show you how those donations to the Red Cross will help flood victims. We'll talk to local Red Cross workers about that impact. All right, let's get a check now on our weather. Meteorologist John Scalzi joins us now with the first alert weather and a dry start to our day, which is, again, really nice.
It is nice. It is really, really nice. And it's sunny. It's a little humid. The mornings are a little humid. You know, the dew point values are still way up there, so it's kind of sticky. But the afternoons today, I think we might see an isolated shower or two, but that's about it. Yeah, and temperatures a little bit warmer today, I think. All in all, we are looking at a pleasant afternoon. The Van Wezel webcam shows that we have only a few fair weather clouds building, coming up from the south, actually. Upper level winds kind of streaming up from that direction, bringing tropical moisture aloft, which is helping to kind of moisten up the atmosphere and maybe prime the pump, if you will, for a few scattered afternoon showers. Rain chance still way lower than normal for this time of year, coming in at 20 or 30%, I'd put it, but I don't think we'll see much more than that. Tomorrow, we'll probably double it, and then we'll double it again on Saturday. We'll talk about that. Plus, we have the tropics to talk about. This is going to be a busy weather show today. Tropical radar, Titan radar rather, showing not much happening currently, and so if you have to run some errands this early afternoon, shouldn't be a problem. Our rain chance, like I said, minimal today. Daytime highs warm, coming in the low 90s. Got several systems that we're monitoring in the tropics. One could reasonably be argued to say it might develop into a Category 5 hurricane. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Flood waters from rains over the weekend continue to be a concern for Sarasota County Emergency Management. Officials are closely monitoring a flooding situation in Venice. This is around the South Moon Road area, which borders the Myakka River. And that's where families have been dealing with flood waters for the last few days. The river crested early yesterday morning. The EOC, though, raising its emergency level to allow flood victims access to many different services.
We're going to put porta potties out. We've asked the Red Cross and the Salvation Army to assist with bottled water, so we're going to have them out there.
The water came on so fast. I never had a chance to get all the kids' toys packed up. I had a lot of valuables in the garage that are underwater. I put a lot of stuff on high ground, but the water has found its way into everything.
There are also plans to give people access to showers nearby. Emergency management crews, the fire department, sheriff's office will all continue to be on the scene there to help those people. Deputies in Charlotte County need your help to find a man who posed as a police officer and then stole electronics from a Walmart store. Detectives say he stole 4 iPads. He also identified himself as a law enforcement officer and displayed a sheriff's office business card. The man later presented a fake receipt at the front checkout for the iPads. He was seen leaving in a newer silver Chevrolet Tahoe. Investigators believe he's targeted other Walmarts in the area before. If you have any information on the suspect, contact the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office. An overnight crash between a police vehicle and a semi-truck in Venice. This happened around 3:30 this morning off Knights Trail Road and Technology Drive. Troopers say a Venice police officer was parked in a painted safety zone when the truck driver did not go wide enough and then hit the front and driver's side of the police SUV. No one was hurt. The semi-truck driver was cited for careless driving. Happening today, another chance to hear the state's plans to upgrade the Cortez Bridge. The Florida Department of Transportation is hosting a public meeting to discuss the bridge's project development and environmental studies. Planners will look at traffic, air quality, and noise factors of how the project would affect the area's conditions. The open house begins at 5 o'clock at Kirkwood Presbyterian Church. That's on Cortez Road West. Still to come in your Suncoast News, 20 years ago today, the death of Princess Diana shocked the world. We'll look back at the legacy of Princess Diana and how it's being remembered. And it's a move that's opening up a new era of cancer care, the first living drug to fight aggressive childhood leukemia. Details coming up in HealthSmart.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Another warm one, 88-degree air temperature with a dew point of 80. That is a very high dew point, making it feel so very thick and sticky outside right now, very humid. At least a little bit of physical exertion, and you can absolutely tell how humid it is out there. We have a southwest wind coming in at about 10. Combination of that southwest wind, and like the last several days, the sunshine beating down on all that moisture that fell from our skies is helping to create that high humidity that's around right now. We have across the nation, well, really only one thing to talk about right now currently, and that is, of course, Harvey opening up, becoming less intense as it lifts northward. It still has the potential to drop a lot of rainfall, no doubt about that, as it moves up toward, say, Memphis, Tennessee. They could get a 10-inch rainfall there. Then it's going to curve out toward the east and maybe produce some fairly heavy rainfall along the mid-Atlantic coastline. Also, around its circulation, there is kind of a trough of low pressure that extends out into the Gulf. That could become a player in our weekend weather. We'll talk about that in a second. Right now, everything is very quiet on radar. Nothing to worry about here. Yesterday, a lot of dry air filtered in, and that really made it feel a lot less humid and, well, at least a lot sunnier. And I think today what we'll notice is a few more showers in the forecast because it was just so dry aloft yesterday, as seen here on the water vapor imagery. But today, a little bit of this turquoise color, which is higher moisture content air, is starting to mix into the tan colors of very, very dry air. So the moisture aloft on the increase, allowing for a better chance of an isolated shower. That's really about it. Harvey continues to lift northward, becoming extra tropical and moving off to the north and to the east. This little trough of low pressure approaches the state of Florida, triggering better chances of some potentially heavier rainfall as we head into the weekend. Now, I do think that this trough will probably pull up stationary somewhere over the state of Florida, and we'll be watching for where exactly that is. That could be a location for the heaviest rainfall, most likely to the north of Tampa Bay this time. So expect to see the thunderstorm possibility increase. Some of the thunderstorms produce heavy rain over the weekend. Hopefully it'll work out that the heaviest of the rain falls just to our north. We'll keep an eye on it. Mostly sunny skies. Rains return this weekend. And then we're watching the tropics. Next week. We have this one area of disturbed weather down here that the Hurricane Center is watching. Very little chance of any kind of development there. But further away from Florida, about 3,000 miles out, we have Irma. Now, we talked a little about this yesterday, But Irma has changed a lot since yesterday. It has gone from a tropical wave to almost a Category 3 storm. 100-mile-an-hour winds right now. Picks up another 11-mile-per-hour winds, and it will be a Category 3. It is forecast to do that. It is forecast to go even stronger. Some computer models suggesting a Category 5 hurricane. Why has it grown so fast, so quickly? Well, it's avoided the dry air that's to its north, and it's over very warm waters. It's moved a little bit further to the south than forecast model suggested, over those warmer waters, and its forward motion has slowed a little bit, keeping it very warm. So it's forecast to become a Category 3, and by Tuesday of next week, approaching somewhere around the Leeward or Windward Islands, start turning a little more westerly as opposed to southwesterly, and become a Category 4 storm. Now, some computer models, I'm going to show you two here. One is the USA model, it's called the GFS, and it shows this storm system gaining significantly in intensity to perhaps a Category 5 storm, and then finding a weakness in this ridge to the north and kind of recurving, threatening the east coast of the United States. Here's another computer model for you. This is the European, another reliable model, showing the progression of this storm, again, gaining intensity to a Category 5, however, staying further southward, significantly further southward, so that by midweek next week, it's in a position I don't particularly want it to be in. Now, both of these computer models are wrong this far out, I will tell you that. The forecast track will not be what either one of them says. The short of it is, it's going to be over very warm waters, it's going to strengthen, and by midweek next week, we need to know where that hurricane is. So don't let this one out of your sight. Look for a 60% chance of rain Saturday, and then decreasing rain chances beginning of next work week. Scott.
All right, John, thank you so much. In health news, a new treatment designed to help kids and young adults battle a reoccurring cancer has been approved by the FDA. It's called CAR T-cell therapy. The treatment is the first therapy of its kind available in the United States. It's approved for use in certain children and young adults up to age 25 who are fighting a form of acute lymphoblastic leukemia, or ALL, which is a cancer of the bone marrow and blood. The treatment is considered a form of living therapy, where cells are removed from a patient's blood, re-engineered in a lab, and then put back into the bloodstream to fight the cancer.
We take that immune system, treat it, and expose it to the leukemia cells itself so that what grows out is an immune system that is specific for the leukemia, that knows how to attack the leukemia. That immune system is then reinfused back into the patient so that hopefully the leukemia will disappear.
The FDA is requiring hospitals that use the new CAR T-cell therapy to have special certification, so for now, it will likely only be found at large medical centers. Have you ever gotten that falling feeling that jolts you right awake as you're falling asleep? Well, it's called hypnic jerk, or a sleep start. But doctors say it's nothing to worry about. Sleep starts typically occur in stage 1 of sleep, also known as transitional sleep, just as you're drifting off. The sensation doesn't have any long-term consequences, but it can make it hard to fall asleep and can disrupt your daytime functioning as well. The cause is not known, but stress, lack of sleep, stimulant medications, or too much caffeine are all likely.
The main suggestions would be to get that sufficient sleep, which we in adults say should be 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and caffeine use really should be limited as much as possible, and certainly nothing after approximately noon.
In rare cases, hypnic jerks can happen frequently, and a sleeping disorder may be to blame. The man who inspired the Ice Bucket Challenge, which raised hundreds of millions of dollars for ALS research, has been honored. St. John's Prep named Pete Frates its 2018 Distinguished Alumnus, dedicating a baseball field in his name and retiring his jersey. Frates graduated from the school outside of Boston back in 2003. The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge has raised more than $220 million. Sports is coming up next, but first let's head over to our kitchen, where our guest today is Mike Scalzi, the manager and bartender at Cask and Ale. He joined from downtown Sarasota. And Mike, great to have you in our kitchen today. What's on your menu for today?
Thanks, Scott. Today we're going to be making a dish off of our snacks and starters segment of our dinner menu. It's a twist on a familiar dish. It's a boiled peanut hummus.
Sounds delicious. We'll be right back in the kitchen with you, Mike. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Jacuzzi is proud to present our first ever safe bathing event. The Jacuzzi walk-in tub allows you or a loved one to take a safe and relaxing bath. Never climb in and out of a regular bathtub again. Our walk-in tub offers a low step-in threshold, fast drain technology, soothing hydrotherapy, and even a shower handle. Regain bathing independence with a Jacuzzi walk-in tub and enjoy spending more time with loved ones. Why wait any longer? During our safe bathing event, save $750 on a new walk-in tub. Receive $250 in safety upgrades and a $100 Visa gift card. But if you call right now during this program, we'll double the savings to $1,500, double the safety upgrades to $500, and double it to a $200 Visa gift card with your walk-in tub purchase. Call right now to save double on a new walk-in tub. Call now.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
A win in Kansas City for the Tampa Bay Rays. Logan Morrison, Steven Souza Jr., and Adeiny Hechavarria each went deep in the Tampa Bay Rays, beating Kansas City Royals last night. Morrison, who was born in Kansas City, has 4 home runs, 8 RBIs, and 6 runs scored in the first 6 games of Tampa Bay's current road trip. Souza hit his 29th homer earlier in the 5th. That snapped a 3-3 tie, and the Rays go on to win it last night 5-3. The Rays took 2 out of 3 and have now won 3 consecutive series. The Rays are off today and will be in Chicago to play the White Sox on Friday. The Astros are going home to Houston to meet the Mets. The 3-game series begins on Saturday. Because of Hurricane Harvey, the team had to relocate their current series against the Rangers to Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg while the Rays were on the road. It hasn't been a great week, though, for the Astros, losing again last night to Texas 8-1. The teams will finish up their series with a game this afternoon that starts in a little bit at 1:10. At the U.S. Open, Maria Sharapova advancing to the 3rd round. The Russian gaining another 3-set win, finishing with 12 aces and overcoming 19 unforced errors in the first set alone. This is Sharapova's first Grand Slam event since last year's Australian Open, after serving a 15-month doping suspension that was lifted in April. 9th-seeded Venus Williams and number 13 seed Petra Kvitova all advancing to the next round. When it comes to helping the victims of Hurricane Harvey, a Houston Texans player keeps increasing his goal. J.J. Watt has raised his Harvey relief fundraising goal now to $10 million. He started raising money on Monday with an initial goal of just $200,000 and met that mark within 2 hours. Watt says it has been difficult but motivating to watch firefighters and everyday people helping each other out in Houston. Watt says he's just a guy that's trying to organize it all and make sure he's doing everything in his power to help out.
There's so many people out there that want to help. We just needed somebody to organize it. And I'm just very glad that I could use my platform to help organize it.
Watt isn't the only one donating to hurricane relief efforts. The Texans have donated $1 million. The Tennessee Titans have also given $1 million to Watt's Drive. The New England Patriots, New York Jets, and the Johnson family all donating $1 million each to relief efforts. I'll have more on how you can help coming up in just a few minutes. All right, let's get back to the kitchen now. John, a very proud father, is with his son today, Mike Scalzi from Cask and Ale in downtown Sarasota. John?
Scott, this is one of these times I can honestly tell our viewers that I am with my absolute favorite guest ever on this show. Absolutely right. My son, Michael Scalzi, here, operations manager at Cask and Ale. Good to have you here, son.
Oh, it's good to be here.
Always fun. So, Cask and Ale, tell the viewers a little bit about Cask and Ale, a new addition to Main Street.
A little bit about Cask and Ale. It originally opened in 2013 up in St. Pete. We opened this venture in the beginning of the year. We actually opened to the public New Year's Eve of 2016. We've been going strong ever since. I mean, we were focused on craft cocktails, elevated pub fare as far as food goes.
High-end stuff.
High-end stuff.
But at a reasonable price.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've tried to get in on a Friday or Saturday night, and it was obviously a very popular spot.
Got great live music, great food, great drinks.
Speaking of great food, what are you cooking up for us today?
Today we're going to do one of Chef Justin Sell's creations. It's a twist on a very familiar dish. It's a boiled peanut hummus.
Cool. Now, you were telling me Chef Justin is a Emeril Lagasse protege.
He worked in New Orleans with Emeril for a little bit. Yeah, he's been
cool.
all over the place. Portland, Orlando, St. Pete.
Neat. All right, let's get to it. What do we do?
All right. Well, first we're going to start with 3 cups of these shelled boiled peanuts. That's going to save us about 4.5 hours of cooking and prep time. We also have some peanut butter that we're going to go ahead and put in here.
Regular old peanut butter?
Regular old peanut butter.
Okay. Now, you were saying that if you wanted to boil the peanuts at home, you could do that in a crock pot or something like that?
You can. That's going to be the most time-consuming part of this dish. It usually takes about 4.5 hours.
The shelling. Plus, I eat more than get shelled.
There you go. And
what was that, garlic?
That was a little bit of garlic.
We're going to add a lot of garlic.
You can't have too much garlic. We got a little bit of lemon juice there as well.
Okay.
Then we've got some tahini.
Which is, what is tahini? That's a, I forget what kind of paste that is. Oh, it's a sesame seed paste.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we've got that in there. We're going to add 3/4 of a cup of water in here. And a tablespoon of cumin.
Cumin, oh, nice.
Basically, once we've got all that in there, we're going to go ahead and put the lid on the food processor here.
This is a monster food processor.
This is an industrial food processor,
right.
absolutely.
Kick it on, I'll stand back.
So we're going to go ahead and let that blend up a little bit, get a little creaminess to it. Then we want to slowly add the olive oil just to make sure that the hummus doesn't break here.
So you're making an emulsion, I guess, with the
exactly
with all the ingredients.
And you want to go ahead and blend that up, make sure it's nice and creamy, nice and smooth.
Why have we never made a hummus at home?
I don't know. It's
either.
Really easy dish to make. Really easy to make at home.
We're gonna have to correct that.
And so you just want to go ahead and let that go until it gets nice and smooth.
Okay.
Which we've got right here. And then basically from there, you just want to go ahead and spoon it into your dish, whatever you're going to serve it in.
And you're serving it with pita?
Serve it with pita. You can toast the pita up, get it nice and...
Can I cut some up for you
Absolutely, if you would, please.
Yep.
We can do it in sixths.
Sixths? Oh, you're going to make me use my math here, huh?
You're a scientist. It should be easy.
That should be all right. Okay, there we go.
And then basically...
By the way, I found some of your old papers at home as I was going through my desk of your math in middle school. So
I'm a better bartender than I am mathematician.
You're going to store them at your house, okay? No, you did very well. There you go.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. And we're just going to go ahead and top this off with a little bit of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil.
You are a great bartender, by the way. You've won competitions, I am proud to say, against other bartenders regionally, and I was very impressed to see you compete. It was cool.
And then once we're finished with that, we're going to go ahead and garnish it with a little bit of smoked paprika. Just to give it a little spiciness to it. And then we're going to add a little sumac, which is a Middle Eastern spice. It actually adds a little bit of a lemon flavor to it, a little citrusy zest.
Yum, yum. And what would you serve this with at Cask and Ale?
Oh, it goes good with anything. Beers, whiskey cocktails. Our pecan old fashioned is quite tasty. Something a little bit lighter. We've got the blueberry basil buck, which is a creation of our general manager, Rob Boyland, another supremely talented bartender. We've got a great team over there.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's really good stuff. I've eaten there. It's tasty and a lot of high-end drinks. It's lovely stuff. The recipe for this on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining link page, and Mr. Michael Scalzi will give you the video instructions.
Thank
You're
you
the only chef I'm willing to hug on this show. We'll be right back.
Attention Sarasota and surrounding cities. After 25 years in Sarasota, Bacon's Furniture and Design will be moving to create Southwest Florida's largest and most dynamic furniture store. We must liquidate everything in the store at huge savings as fast as possible. Do not miss this opportunity to purchase quality sofas, bedrooms, dining rooms, patio furniture, mattresses, and more. All at the absolute lowest prices possible. The Bacon's Furniture and Design relocation sell-off. Nobody beats Bacon's.
Attention blood thinner users. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential. There's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline. If you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death, you must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs. And you learned how to not ignore yours. I discovered how to make healthier meals. And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Topping our half hour, ABC is dedicating today to helping those impacted by Hurricane Harvey. We're encouraging you to donate to the American Red Cross, which is providing meals and shelter to families forced out of their homes. It's called A Day of Giving. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live from the American Red Cross facility in Sarasota with more on how you can be a part of this charitable effort. Jess?
Good afternoon, Scott. Hurricane Harvey is now being called the worst flooding incident in American history, and the American Red Cross all over the country and right here on the Suncoast is doing everything it can to help out, but they're in need of your generosity. There are several ways that you can help. First, you can volunteer. Right now, 6 people from right here on the Suncoast are in Texas helping with Hurricane Harvey relief efforts. You could be one of them. You do have to go through some training, but the relief efforts will be ongoing for weeks, so you will be trained and able to deploy and help those affected by Hurricane Harvey. Second, obviously, you can donate financially. There are more than 67,000 homes and families in need of shelter, water, food, and everyday living items. They are also going to need to rebuild, which is expecting to cost billions. Now, every dollar counts, and the American Red Cross asks that if you donate money, do that instead of donating physical items.
Clothing donations come from people's hearts. Clothing and food come from people's hearts. However, the Red Cross and most other organizations don't have the resources to manage that kind of a volume of material donations. The logistics of that is very difficult. The logistics in Texas for getting those kind of goods managed is very difficult. and that's why we ask for monetary donations.
So how can you donate money to help those in need in Texas? You can call the American Red Cross. You can physically bring a check or money to any American Red Cross location. You can also text a donation. However, I'm told right now the text line is backed up, so they're asking that you use another way to donate. You can also go online, and we have all of those options available to you on our website, the phone numbers, the addresses, everything that you may need so you can help out. Reporting live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jess, thank you. And again, if you'd like to help the Red Cross during these relief efforts in Texas, you can donate by calling the number there on your screen. It's a toll-free number, 1-800-RED-CROSS. Or later, maybe you can try texting. As Jess mentioned, they are having a little bit of a backup on that, but that does make an automatic $10 donation. Well, she was the People's Princess, and 20 years ago today, we lost her. ABC's Molly Hunter looks back at Princess Diana and how she's being remembered today.
It's been 2 decades, and 2 royal sons remember their mother, Princess Diana. Alongside daughter-in-law Kate, who never met Diana, they're marking the day quietly and privately, no fanfare and no public memorial. The sunken garden here at Kensington Palace is now filled with flowers inspired by Princess Diana's life and style.
It was right here outside Kensington Palace 20 years ago, a sea of flowers as far as the eye could see. And today the public have started to pay their respects, lay flowers, post old photos, and of course post messages. 20 years ago today, we remember the People's Princess. Do you remember the day?
Yes.
What do you remember?
I just remember like a huge emptiness in the heart.
And for those too young to remember her death in 1997, curiosity about the princess brought them here to the gates of her former home.
I'm a massive fan of the royal family, and I just wanted to see how everyone remembers Diana. So I just wanted to see what it was like.
Later this year, a permanent statue will be erected in her honor. But on a wet and soggy British summer day, the boys she left behind, now grown men, Princes William and Harry, paying tribute to their mum. At Kensington Palace, Molly Hunter, ABC News.
First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi joins us again now. I think that's one of those events that you remember where you were when you heard about it, and then kind of consumed with the coverage of it in the days and weeks to follow.
So sad and so senseless. Now they've found out that it was an intoxicated limo driver that caused it. So it's terrible. Terrible to hear that. Oh dear. We have across our region today, again, more fair weather, and we'll be looking at some pleasant conditions as we head into the afternoon with lots of sunshine and only isolated showers in inland areas. So that's good news. Those showers will gradually drift toward the coast as they die out. So the rain chance today is pretty low. Now, out in the Central Gulf, there's a line of clouds. That's a trough of low pressure that is gradually going to drift in this direction. That could change our weekend forecast, and we'll talk about that coming up in a few. Clear skies for the most part, with only fair weather clouds along the coastline, particularly today, and no showers currently in progress. Rain chance only at about 20 to 30%. Complete forecast for you coming up in a few. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. An update this afternoon on a growing scandal at Wells Fargo. The bank finally coming clean about a fake accounts incident. Bank officials now say 3.5 million people were impacted. That's a dramatic increase from the 2.1 million accounts that was originally reported. Wells Fargo plans to pay out an additional $2.8 million in refunds to those impacted. Wells Fargo also found 528,000 customers who were signed up for online bill pay when they did not even ask for it. The bank will give $910,000 in refunds to those customers. Officials are stepping up the rhetoric against North Korea. Some of the United States' most advanced warplanes are taking part in bombing drills with South Korea. Although Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says all options remain on the table, President Trump says the time for talking is over. ABC's Janae Norman has more.
A show of force from the U.S. Supersonic bombers and F-35 fighter jets buzzed over South Korea, practicing attack capabilities. simulating precision strikes against North Korea's core facilities. The rogue nuclear regime boasting after Pyongyang fired a mid-range ballistic missile over Japan last week. Kim Jong-un calling it a meaningful prelude to containing Guam, where thousands of U.S. forces are based. President Trump has warned any threat to the U.S. from North Korea would be met with fire and fury, and the U.S. is ready. Test launching a defensive missile from a warship, successfully intercepting a medium-range ballistic missile sent from nearby Kauai. Still, the president insisting on Twitter that talking is not the answer when it comes to Pyongyang. But when his Secretary of Defense was asked whether that means the U.S. is out of diplomatic options, James Mattis seeming to contradict him.
We're never out of diplomatic solutions.
As the acts of intimidation between the two countries continue to ramp up, Americans are beginning to fly out of Pyongyang ahead of the new U.S. travel ban on citizens going to North Korea. In a report, North Korea condemned U.S. fighters and bombers' show of force over South Korea. They called the drills rash and wild military acts of the enemies. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Follow up now on a speaking engagement planned by a white nationalist at the University of Florida. A group headed by Richard Spencer is now threatening legal action after the school refused to rent its space on campus. The event was scheduled for next month, but the university denied the group's request earlier this month after the violence in Charlottesville, Virginia. U.S. President saying the university is dedicated to free speech and public discourse, but the First Amendment does not require risk of violence to students. The white supremacist group has gained legal counsel and is planning to sue to hold the event, but no formal complaint has been filed yet. U.S. President says they are prepared to defend their decision. A vote has been passed in Fort Lauderdale to erase the names of all the Confederate generals from the city's streets. Commissioners voting 5-1 to remove the names of Robert E. Lee, Nathan Bedford Forrest, and John Bell Hood. The mayor says he voted for the change because it will erase symbols of bigotry and oppression. The streets will be renamed later. It's another one of those only in Florida stories. Police in Miami Beach arresting a 6-foot Burmese python found outside of a convenience store yesterday. Customers leaving the store noticed it slithering beneath a palm tree. Police Chief Daniel Oates tweeted these photos with the caption, "Suspect apprehended." The snake was turned over to a wildlife refuge. When we come back, John will have another look at our forecast and the latest from the tropics. And it's a Suncoast tradition with cardboard boat races and lots of food and music. It's coming up next in the Spotlight.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop head that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
The ABC 7 First Alert Hurricane Guide. Download yours today. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Warm and just about as humid as it gets out there with a dew point of 80. That is a really high dew point. And the combination of the temperature and the dew point making it feel just ever so sticky outside. Still, aloft, the air is kind of dry, so we're not going to get a lot in the way of rainfall today, despite the surface moisture being so thick. Now, Harvey continues to spin and move off to the north and to the east. It's kind of falling apart, though, which is finally good to see. However, it still has a lot more rain showers to wring out of its cloud cover as it lifts off to the north and especially starts to encounter increasing elevation. You'll probably see another 10-inch rainfalls kind of from about Memphis, Tennessee, all the way over toward, well, through West Virginia and Virginia, I think, and then as it gets closer to the coastline, it probably starts to rain itself out just a little bit more. The trailing end of the circulation around this system will gradually drift closer to us and bring us an enhanced rainfall chance as we head into the weekend, and maybe some heavy rain as well on Saturday. But currently, things are pretty quiet and only isolated showers anticipated. It lifts north. The trough of low pressure advances toward us. Friday, we start to moisten. Saturday, this pulls up stationary across North Florida, and we start to see showers and thunderstorms build in a frequent fashion across the Florida Peninsula, most likely North Florida seeing the heaviest of the rainfall. But we could still get some periods of heavy rainfall around here as well on Saturday, maybe on Sunday too. We'll see how it progresses. Mostly sunny skies. Rains return this weekend, and then we'll be watching the tropics next week, midweek. Again, an area of disturbed cloudiness down to the south around the Bay of Campeche deserves watching, but nothing there that looks like it's going to develop anytime soon, and it may not develop at all. But far from Florida, 3,000 miles away, this system is certainly one to watch. We now have a Category 2 storm. All computer models show Irma kind of lifting a little bit to the north initially, or northwest, and then dropping to the southwest, and then eventually kind of flattening out and heading basically due west. That's about 5 days from now, and really that's the best we can do, as I showed you last half hour, how far the computer models diverge. One thing that we can say is that this is a rapidly strengthening system. 100-mile-an-hour winds right now, forecast to become 5 days down the road, at least by next Tuesday, a Category 4 storm. Now, even at that time, on Tuesday, it'll still be far away from us, so plenty of time to watch it. Certainly over the holiday weekend, you can relax. We don't have to worry about anything tropical, but by certainly next week, early next week, get caught up on this storm and know exactly what's going on with it. Windward, Leeward Islands could have a problem. One thing we do know, the water temperatures in this area of the world are very warm, and upper level shear will be light. So some computer models suggest that this could develop into a Category 5 storm, and certainly that is a possibility. I mean, you could argue for that quite logically. Forecast for the next several days calls for increasing rain chances. By Saturday, a 60% chance of rain. And then as we head into next week, a typical summertime pattern, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And of course, watching the tropics. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Plenty to celebrate this weekend in Englewood. ABC 7's Linda Carson takes a look at the Pioneer Days Parade in the spotlight.
The Pioneer Days Festival in Englewood has been a tradition for more than half a century.
Back in 1956, Jo Cortez was the editor of the Sun Herald, and she started something that has been carried on all of these years to help the local businesses do a little bit more in the summertime, kind of take away the dog days and let everybody know that we're here, and we encourage you to come and visit our great area of Englewood.
The fun begins with cardboard boat races Saturday morning. Saturday night, there's a shipwreck dance in Pioneer Park.
We start with the drum circle at 5. We have food trucks, we have the beer garden, but at 6 o'clock we have Sheena Brooke, who was one of the top 20 finalists on The Voice this year. We're very excited. And then Summer Survivors from Sarasota will be playing at 8 o'clock.
There are 2 car shows.
One is on Sunday, which is an open car show. I have people registered anywhere from a 1927 to a 2018.
You'll see cars like this 1931 Alfred Romeo race car.
How fast will it go?
88.
88 miles an hour?
88 miles an hour,
Do you ever get it up to that speed?
Oh, once in a while I take it over on 75 and run with the big boys.
On Sunday, festivities run from noon till 9 p.m.
We have a great kids area that is free. We encourage the parents to bring their children.
The parade steps off Monday morning at 9.
The parade has been rerouted, so we want to let everybody know that we're actually starting at the shopping center on State Route 776 this year, and we will be going south to north. So we'll be heading west on Dearborn this year instead of east.
Immediately following the parade, there's a Corvette show.
Well, the Corvette is a very special car because it's America's sports car. Chevrolet began manufacturing it in 1953, and it's been continuously in production ever since.
Those cars will also be parked in the 300 block of West Dearborn, right across the street from the Pioneer Days Festival, which also will feature games, children's corner, music, food, beverage, all the fun that you can imagine.
So come on out to Pioneer Days in Englewood. It's the biggest thing happening this Labor Day weekend in the entire state of Florida, and there's something every day for every member of your family. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Linda, thank you so much. Coming up, hope is being restored for evacuees of Hurricane Harvey thanks to 2 young singers. And attention all fans and hopefuls of American Idol. Auditions for the new season are hitting the road. Entertainment news is next.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Attention Sarasota and surrounding cities. After 25 years in Sarasota, Bacon's Furniture and Design will be moving to create Southwest Florida's largest and most dynamic furniture store. We must liquidate everything in the store at huge savings as fast as possible. Do not miss this opportunity to purchase quality sofas, bedrooms, dining rooms, patio furniture, mattresses, and more. All at the absolute lowest prices possible. The Bacon's Furniture and Design relocation sell-off. Nobody beats Bacon's.
Are you getting the most out of your Medicare plan? Are you sure? Many people with Medicare are eligible for plans that include extra benefits in addition to those found in original Medicare. Benefits like dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free with no obligation to enroll. In addition to hospital and medical coverage, at no extra cost, you could also get coverage for prescription drugs, dental, hearing, vision, and more. In many areas, plans with benefits are available with $0 copays for many services, $0 monthly premiums, or $0 deductibles. That's hospital, medical, prescription drug, dental coverage, and more included in one plan with premiums that may be as low as $0 a month. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free and there's no obligation to enroll.
Call 1-800-620-2254. That's 1-800-620-2254.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. In the park on a bench, on the beach on a towel, or on your couch with your kid, your campus is wherever you want it to be. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. You schedule classes around your schedule, and all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. At Independence U, you'll learn from professional instructors with real work experience. You'll get personal support in school and employment assistance when you graduate. Get your degree, but keep your life. That's independence. That's Independence University. So if you're really smart, you'd call now.
Call 1-800-319-0237.
Independence U for an independent you.
Call 1-800-319-0237.
Tell me how the day unfolds. Traffic fast, the traffic slow. This feeling is so fine, I gotta say. You're just a touch away. You're everywhere, got you everywhere. Everywhere I go, whoa, go. Everywhere I go, whoa, everywhere I go.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Gospel singers in Houston are giving hurricane victims some new hope through song.
And let the King
sing of my heart, be the shadow where I hide.
When Victoria White and Marquise Taylor broke out into song at a Texas shelter, her performance blew away not just evacuees, but people around the world. White and Taylor were volunteers at a convention and expo center in Texas. Both of their homes are okay, but they're still moved to help those who are struggling. The impromptu gospel concert was posted on Facebook and now has more than 10 million views. Auditions for American Idol are officially underway. Maybe those two should audition. The bus tour across the country making a stop in Louisville, Kentucky this week. The new season will return next year with Ryan Seacrest hosting, and it happens right here on ABC. Finally this afternoon, most home buyers expect lots of space for their buck, but you may not be so lucky if you're looking at this home. A realtor in California is marketing a 400 square foot home with a rent of $1,800 a month. The home is part of that latest housing trend. It's called tiny homes. Despite what you think, though, the realtor says she's been receiving dozens of applications for people who want to rent it.
$1,800 a month?
Yeah.
Must have a heck of a view.
I don't know what it has, but it's
very centrally located.
You know, those houses are so cleverly designed with the storage and everything. Just in, you know, they fill up every little space they can.
They remind me of like a super brilliant RV of some sort.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You can get comfortable in that sort of thing, I suppose, if you were
My
young
wife and I
single.
are already thinking about downsizing once we're empty nesters.
Oh, I know.
You know.
Isn't it true?
Yeah.
I know. It is true. Less yard work.
Yeah. Have a wonderful day ahead, everyone. Hope to see you again at 5 o'clock.
How about that Michael Scalzi?
He was great.